What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon. 5-3. Man, I'm back again. Yeah, man, it's story time, man. Y'all know it's story time. Listen. This is one I based on a lot of questions that had been asked me. A lot of questions that had been asked me. During having conversations with a lot of different people, and me speaking on the way things have changed in LA, in the Crip scenery in LA that I've seen since I've been out. And I was like, man, whoa, I don't know, I'm kind of lost. I don't know what this is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I just don't know it. It's not my time. It's not my era. It's not anything. And the dude actually say too, if you was able to get into a time machine and go back to any year, what year would it have been? And I said 1979. 1979 was a very pivotal year. That's just personally for me. It was very pivotal year for me. But now, 1979 was a very, very pivotal year for the Crips in general. Now, when I'm speaking on the Crips, of course I'm speaking on Los Angeles because in 1979, I don't even think that it was Crips in other states, period, back then. You know what I'm saying? You might have some dudes that pop up for the clout and try to say, oh, yeah, we was Cripping back then. Anyway, 1979, man. 1979 was a very pivotal year. And the reason why I say that is because it was the year that Crippin', as a lot of the older cats knew it, disappeared. It disappeared. Between 1969 and on toward the late 80s, man, Crips loved each other. Crips really loved each other, man. You was able to go from one side of town to the next, go here, go there, and long as you was throwing that big C up, you was good, man. You was good. As the years would go on, things would start to change. Man. Violence got the level of violence rose. The opposition, the level of resistance from the opposition started to rise up. But now, even with that, Crips was still a juggernaut. Was a runaway train, man. Crips were the Blue Hulk in them 70s. It seemed like nothing couldn't stop them. Police didn't know what to do. Opposition opposition, you know what I'm saying? It was there, but it couldn't really, you know what I'm saying? We was a runaway train. Now, I wasn't Crippin' in the early 70s. No, I wasn't. Didn't even know what a Crip was, until my cousin presented it to me. But from my understanding, but now when I did start Crippin', the love and the unity that I seen when I started, in this day and age now, it's not there anymore. It's not there anymore, man. 1979 was a very critical year to the foundation of Crip, man. It was a very critical year, man. A lot of stuff took place. A lot of stuff was taken from us. It was a lot of the fabric of Crip took a lot of hard blows in 1979. Yeah, in August of 1979, we lost our forefather. We lost our originator, our creator, Mr. Raymond Lee Washington. He passed away in 1979, and even still then, it was said allegedly that it was done by other Crips. Even then, you know what I'm saying? That year, you know what I'm saying? 79, man, kicking it off with a bang. Turn around February that year, we had lost Big Took to the judicial system. Took was locked up for 3 hot ones. The fabric of Crip, they done lost Took. and they turn around and they lose Raymond. In that same year, for some reason, that was a lot of year that a lot of Crip on Crip violence just kicked up all over the city, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It was like dudes just woke up that year and say, you know what? We finna get into it with some other Crips. It ain't like you know what I'm saying? It's just like, wow. And I'm gonna get into what I'm trying to get into. But yeah, in that same year, the Five Deuce Broadways and the Four Trays, they went to war. It was a death involved, and they went to war. It wasn't really spoke on a lot around the city, but for those who knew, they knew. Turn right back around. In that same year, the Hoovers and the 9-0s went to war. Now at that time, the 9-0s was still Hoovers, but they decided that they was gonna drop the Hoover banner, and that's when they end up turning in Hood, which that's understandable, because when they got into it at the beginning with the 107s behind a death, all the other Hoovers decided that they were going to side with the 107s, and the war started. The war started. Okay, then turn around. One of the most crucial wars between two different Crip sets in LA that ever took place was the A-Tray Gangsters and the Rolling 60s. They went to war that year. That war right there changed the whole demographic outlook of what Crippin' was going to be in LA. That war right there, it inadvertently had sets choosing sides. But now at this time, sets didn't know they was going to choose sides. It gradually happened. It happened over a period of years, period of time. You know what I'm saying? Because you might have been cool with this cat, or you might have been cool with those cats. Sets chose sides. I never forget one day, man, in 1982, I was walking with my partner, dude named Don Don from Harlem. You used to call him Don Don or the Deuce Don. And we were going to the chow hall in YA, and I asked him, I say, man, you know, who y'all gonna side with, you know? Because I'm looking at the fact that, you know, at that time the Harlems, you know what I'm saying, they holler Trey sometimes, and sometimes they holler O, you know? And I remember asking him that. And I remember he was telling me, oh man, we ain't finna get into that. We ain't gonna get into that. And eventually they did, and you see what direction they went. But that was a lot of different sets in LA. They couldn't see into the future. They didn't know what was coming. They didn't know that it was gonna be a time when you had the gangster car and the in-hood car, you know? So boom. That brought about a lot of division. That same year, Crash, CRASH, Community Resistance Against Street Hoodlums. CRASH was invented. The LAPD came up with a gang unit called CRASH, and they commenced to tear away at the fabric and the foundation of Crip as we knew it then. You know, a lot of homies that came up in my time, we knew what was going on with that CRASH unit. Man, CRASH wasn't to be played with. CRASH was a hard cookie to crumble. We knew we had got to the point where we knew what days CRASH was doing they sweeps, and we would try to avoid them. 1979 was a very, very hard year. To the point where I've had conversations with other cats, and you know how you see an obituary when a person passes away, and it has the year that they were born, and it says sunrise, and then it has the year that they pass away, and it'll say sunset. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of you know the end of the years. Then 1969. You know what I'm saying? Crips sunrise. And as some like to look at it, 1979, as far as what we knew of Crippin' back then, Crips sunset, you know. After 79, Crips in LA and would never be the same. Crippin' in LA would never, ever be the same again. Pandora's box was open that year. 1979, Pandora's box was open, and as they say, the cat's out the bag. The cat jumped clean out the bag and ain't never been put back in. I can say for a fact, in this day and age, the unity that we had amongst each other back then, it no longer exists. The love we had for each other back then, in this day and age, no longer exists. The cold part about it, man, it's got so watered down and warped to you not only can you not trust your so-called enemigo that's 3-4 blocks down, you having a hard time trusting the dudes with the same tattoos as you now. Yeah. You having a hard time trusting them. You know what I'm saying? It's a trip, man. When you get to the point to where you got to bring a heat to the set, not because your enemigos might come through, but because you beefing with your own homeboys. You beefing with your own set. Whew. When it get to that point, which it is at that point now, but when it gets to that point, boy, look here. Something is definitely not right. Something is definitely not right. And it's a lot of things that's not right, man. It's a lot of things that's not right. A lot of the younger Crips of today, they blame it on the older Crips of yesteryear. And the older Crips of yesteryear say that the youngsters ain't built like them. They ain't doing right. They ain't this. They ain't that. Fingers can be pointed every which way, but it's just another symptom of the sickness that Crips let seep in when the poison was injected in 1979. From 1979 till now, a lot of years, or how many years it is, I don't know, but the foundation have slowly been eroding away. You know what I'm saying? Till it's like walking on eggshells now. But yeah, 1979 was a very, very pivotal year for the Crip gang in Los Angeles. A lot of things changed that year for the bad. For the bad, not for the good, for the bad. And it's just different now. Will it ever go back to that? No. It'll never go back to that. For one, it's been too much bloodshed. For one, too much animosity now. Alliances have been built with other groups that never ever in a million years back in the 70s would have been built, or the early 80s. So, you take it for what it is. It is what it is. The only thing that will ever remain the same in life is change. And change has come. You either adapt with the change, or you get stepped on by the change. Anyway, this video ain't gonna be real long. I want to speak on that one, man. I was contemplating if I want to go more in depth, but there's no need. It's no need. Anyway, but yeah, for those who keep asking me about the years and the way things have changed, boom, there it is there. It's me, your big partner, Cartoon, man. Remember, at the end of the day, stay above ground. Stay above ground. I'm a little tired, y'all. I'm a little tired. That's why it seems like I'm kind of dragging while I'm talking with this video, though. But anyway, man, I represent the gangsters, homie. I'm out. Peace. Gangsta boogie, gangsta boogie, gangsta boogie, gangsta boogie. Ain't nobody gangsta boogie. 4, 2, 1, man. 4, 2, 1, man.